Hey guys, Mubarak here of Penny Stock. Hope you're doing well. In this episode, let's talk about the top 3 altcoins to look in. All right, we're in a bear market, might be a crypto crash, crypto winter, but which ones are going to survive? Which are the cryptocurrencies that we know are still going to be here 2-3 years from now, 5 years from now? And those investments that we're going to be happy and our kids are going to be happy that we bought in so early, quote unquote, right? So let's get into it. Again, this is not investment advice. It's purely educational, but having about half a decade experience in the penny stock world, followed up with another half decade experience in the crypto markets, I do believe that I'm in a good position to talk about what is interesting. All right. So in this episode, we're going to be covering altcoins. So I'm not going to go into Bitcoin and Ethereum and their kind of legacy status. But what I do want to talk about, probably the first one that I believe is going to be the best survivor in this is Polygon or Matic. All right. So for those of you guys who don't know, it's a layer 2 cryptocurrency. And so what it does is that it helps kind of augment the layer 1 cryptocurrencies like Ethereum in order for them to perform a lot better. Right, so right now it's trading at about the 56 cent range, but you can see at the end of last year it was in the $2, almost it was flirting with the $3 range, getting as high as $2.87. And so what we want to talk about and see is really what it is and where it's going to go, right? So this has been one of the key type of cryptocurrencies that's been the scaling solution for Ethereum. So even though Ethereum is now going to be doing the merge and connecting with the beacon chain and all of that, Matic and Polygon has still been one of the most successful layers that has allowed, it's kind of been what's kept Ethereum in the number 2 position, in that Ethereum probably would have done a lot worse. You know, if you think about the transactions per second, the network efficiency of Ethereum, even though it has an amazing kind of person at the head, which is that Vitalik Buterin guy, it's really not, it's only doing about 30 transactions per second, which is insanely low, right? Ethereum itself. Now with Polygon, it's able to do 65,000 transactions per second, which is why Ethereum is even still surviving, because other cryptocurrencies like Solana, they're the ones that have been able to do kind of 50,000 plus. Cardano states that it can do almost in the millions. And whether or not that's true or not is not as important as understanding that Matic, which is, you know, the native token of Polygon, is running on the Ethereum blockchain, and it's the token that's used for payment services for Polygon to be able to get it. So it was created by 2017 by this very successful group in India, which is pretty rare. You know, it's a lot of the times they have to be kind of US based, but these guys, they've worked hand in hand with the people. I mean, let me just take it a step back. All the CEOs of all the great tech companies are Indian now. So, you know, just think about that. There's Sundar Pichai of Google, and just, you know, the top 10 or 20 CEOs are now Indian. So just kind of keep that in mind. But in general, talking about the fact that where they were kind of set up, where they kind of had their foothold, Polygon, Matic is just in a great position because of such an aggressive dip that has occurred. Now, it would have been great for people to be able to have purchased it in 30-cent range. So it has seen a small kind of run over the last couple of days. And if we look at the year-to-date range, it's never actually been, oh no, sorry, not year-to-date. It's been a long time since it's been at this point, right? It was in the early 2021. So not like a crazy amount of time. And there has been 2 peaks before, but still Polygon, Matic is going to be one of the cryptocurrencies that we do see surviving for a bit. So that's definitely something you should kind of keep in your threshold. And for those of you guys who don't know, before I get into the second one, this website is coinmarketcap.com. I'm going to link to it in the description. Just something, definitely an amazing tool to use and kind of have. It really, what I love to do is keep an eye on this. When I got into the crypto world, 2016, 2017, there was less than like 800 cryptocurrencies. So now the fact that there's 2,000 is ridiculous. And the market cap still under $1 trillion is pretty crazy, considering that just a few months ago it was over 3 trillion or flirting around that 3 trillion range. So definitely something to keep in mind. But all right, let's get into the second altcoin that I believe is going to survive and be here and for the distance. It's called Avalanche. All right, so Avalanche, you can see that right now it's trading around the $20 range. In kind of the peak of its peaks, it was almost like 7x or 6x, about trading around $120 to $130. So again, seeing a massive crash, similar to probably Solana levels worth of crashes. But, you know, one of the reasons I love CoinMarketCap too is because, first of all, before you get into any type of trading, before you get behind any cryptocurrency, you have to understand what you're getting yourself involved in. And that's where we can start understanding Avalanche. So Avalanche, it's the fastest smart contracts platform in the blockchain industry, right? So any type of smart contract can outperform its competition. And it launched in 2020. All right. So again, similar to Polygon Matic, hasn't been around a crazy long time, but it's performing pretty well. And we're going to go take a look at it and dive a little bit deeper into it as well. So it has decentralized apps. AVAX is the native token of Avalanche and hard capped since it's used to pay for the fees. But let's kind of get a little bit into it, because what you really want to do is understand kind of what these projects are, right? So if you haven't gone to the websites of these cryptocurrencies, you really need to, because you won't understand it. It's just like any other company, right? If a lot of people are losing money in cryptocurrency because they're not even doing any research and not knowing what is actually going on. So like, I'm not saying you should, you know, believe the hype or market manipulation in any way, but it's still very easy to kind of understand what is going on in all of these projects and kind of what they do if you just kind of spend a little bit of time on their websites, because they have tutorials, they have the good ones at least too. They have Discords, they have all of these different kind of methods for you to be able to get in contact with them. And so it's really just your own fault if you're not able to successfully kind of trade because you're getting scammed by investing into a terrible project, right? The information is out here, and it's important to kind of go through it and watch videos like this, do your research. So if you're checking this out, then you're doing the right first step, right? But finally, let's go into the third and final altcoin that I believe is going to survive, and that is called Near. I just searched for it, but it's not coming up. Let's find, oh, the Near protocol here, Near. All right, and so let's take a look. It's right now trading on the $3.88 range. At one point, it was as high as the $20 range. So, you know, again, looking back, it was created around 2020, or at least launched in here, and was around the dollar range. And now it's about the $4 range. So it's kind of trading. Again, the crypto winter is here. And it's important to just know from a macroeconomic scale that, yes, interest rates are high, inflation is high, but it's going to continue, right? So we're not like at the end of the bear market. So be able, if you're going to be trading or, you know, purchasing, again, this is not investment advice, this is purely educational, but just understanding the macroeconomics and the framework of where we should be at. If you're thinking about trading or getting involved in trading into any of these cryptocurrencies, you should be in it for the long term and at least 6 to 12 months more. Like, these are not short-term buys. Yes, you might be able to be the exception and flip it because of a, you know, it's down 10%, it might be up 5% tomorrow. You know, there's those scalpers that always make money like that, and that's always a potential. But really, we believe, people who are in the know, essentially, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So we're not at the down point yet. We'll probably see some small upticks. And again, unless the government comes in and prints another few $1 trillion, which could happen. We don't know, right? The administration is crazy, and crazy things have been going on. But overall, we're probably going to see another kind of 20 to 40% dip on a macroeconomic level of the Dow and the stock market, because, you know, we've been having a bull market for 11 to 13 years now, right? So the last one was kind of around like 2008, 2009, and everything's been pretty rosy since then. And so now there's just a lot of runaway inflation going on. The Fed acted too late. I don't want to get into the whole political or economic standpoint right now, but overall, you should know, if you're not going to do any more research, that there's probably a better chance for prices to go down further for the next couple of months before they go up. So this is the time to do your research, to cash up, to pay off some of your other debts, your credit cards, your school loans, and kind of stack up a little bit, because once it gets a little bit lower, it might be a better time to get involved. But going back into finally what Near is also on the same level as like Ethereum or Bitcoin, where it's a layer 1 blockchain, and it's essentially used to be able to be like a community-run cloud computing platform. So it's basically used to help create decentralized apps. And it's been around for a while, has its own protocols built by the Near Collective. The founders are pretty much people with some pretty good amounts of experience on Wall Street and computer scientists from Microsoft, so they have a good team. But essentially they, this is a really good feature that I like at CoinMarketCap, which is what is it that makes that coin unique, and if you don't find this section on a cryptocurrency that you're doing research for, it's probably because it's a trash crypto. And so you're really doing just a pump and dump, which is fine. You can make money with pump and dumps, but just understand the game you're playing. So they've earned and kind of raised a bunch of money in funding with other layer 1 blockchains like Avalanche, Phantom, and CeeLo. And so they do have some good backing from investors. And it's now time to kind of see how they perform. But I would believe that Avalanche, Matic, which is Polygon, and Near are probably the 3 cryptocurrencies that are going to continue and still be with us here, probably back to their old highs, if not further, in the years to come. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or shoot me an email at admin, that's ADMIN, @mpennystock.com. Hope to hear from you guys soon.